Here's an uncomfortable fact. By the time you finish saying your name, the verdict is already in. Not a polite, open-minded verdict. A full judgment about your trustworthiness, your intelligence, even how fun you'd be to sit next to at dinner, decided before you finished the sentence. Nobody warns you this is happening. Nobody hands you the transcript afterward either. So consider this that transcript. What's actually going on in someone's head in the first few seconds of meeting you? The parts that have nothing to do with what you said, and everything to do with things you didn't even know you were saying. Psychologist Susan Hughes has spent years studying something most people have never noticed about themselves. Their voice changes when they're talking to someone they're attracted to. In her research, both men and women shifted their vocal pitch the moment the conversation was with someone they found appealing without any awareness they were doing it. Men tended to drop their pitch lower. Women tended to lift theirs slightly higher, closer to a lighter, more melodic register. It's the reason a friend's "hey" to a cute bartender sounds nothing like her "hey" to her coworker. It's not performance, it's not even conscious. It's a switch flipping in real time, broadcasting interest before either person has said anything interesting at all. Psychologist Adam Pazda at the University of Rochester ran a series of studies on the color red and how it changes perception. Not just in romantic contexts, but in ordinary ones. Women shown wearing red were consistently rated by other women as more likely to be pursuing a partner, more competitive, and in some versions of the study, less trustworthy as friends. Psychologist Karen Pine at the University of Hertfordshire found something just as telling with a different color entirely. Women who wore black to a social setting were rated by strangers as more confident, more in control, more put together, but also colder, harder to approach. Less like someone you'd casually strike up a conversation with. The dress had already answered questions nobody asked out loud. Color isn't decoration. It's a signal the brain reads faster than it reads a face. A closet choice made in 30 seconds in front of a mirror ends up doing more talking than the first 10 minutes of the actual conversation. Princeton psychologist Alexander Todorov found that people form judgments about a stranger's trustworthiness and competence from a photograph in roughly 1/10 of a second, barely enough time to consciously see the whole face, let alone think about it. Giving people more time to look didn't change their verdict. It only made them more confident in the snap judgment they'd already made. Psychologist Sam Gosling at the University of Texas pushed this further and pointed it at something more familiar: social media. Strangers who spent only a few minutes scrolling someone's profile, the photos, the captions, even the order things were posted in, guessed that person's actual personality with an accuracy that came close to matching what the person's own close friends said about them. Which means the grid isn't just pictures. The color-coordinated feed, the caption written 3 times before posting, the story highlight covers chosen just because they looked nice. A stranger's thumb is scrolling past all of it and building a verdict, usually before they've read a single caption in full. Psychologist Solomon Asch back in the 1940s discovered something he called the halo effect. Once someone forms one positive judgment about a person, they start unconsciously inventing other positive traits to match it. Tell people a stranger is warm, and they'll also guess that stranger is generous, funny, and good at their job with zero evidence for any of it. Tell them the same stranger is cold, and the guesses flip entirely, even though nothing else about the description changed. This means first impressions aren't really verdicts about who a person is. They're a story the observer's brain is writing about them, using one data point as the entire outline. The unsettling part is how confident people feel about a story they didn't realize they were making up. Later research building on Asch's work, including studies by Todorov's lab, found that first impressions don't just form fast, they resist being updated. Once a judgment locks in, new information tends to get bent to fit it rather than replace it. A stranger who came across as cold gets reinterpreted as guarded once someone learns they're kind. A stranger who came across as warm gets excused as having a bad day the one time they're rude. The first few seconds don't just make an impression. They build the frame that every later moment has to fit into, fairly or not.